Thanks, everyone. It's amazing to be here. I've been fortunate enough to do a lot of talks over the last 2 years, but to be in a room with my event industry peers, you guys know, you guys felt what we felt. No one else, you speak to a room full of lawyers or marketing people, they don't understand really what we went through. We went through it before anybody else and longer and harder than anyone else, I think. So my talk today is on leadership in a crisis, and I'm going to chat through what we did and my management team did at Stagekings to make our way through COVID and the lockdowns. Make sure I get the right slides here. So the Stagekings story, a little backstory. My wife and I, who's actually up the back here, which is amazing. My wife and I started Stagekings 2015 with the goal, the aim to bring decorated and more exciting structures to the event industry in Australia. I lived in Germany for a couple of years as a scaffolder working on event structures over there. And the difference between what we had in Australia and the likes of the Netherlands and right throughout Europe, it was chalk and cheese. And so we started Stagekings with that in mind, to really bring those experiential kind of structures to Australia. So we say we build stages. I'll show you a couple of the kinds of things that we do. Like I say, 2015 we started. Actually, Graham and Linda here was my first ever decorated structure, so which is quite cool. So a couple of examples of stuff we've built. Shakespeare's Pop-Up Globe Theatre. We built that in Melbourne, Sydney and Perth. Full theatre from the ground up, based on scaffold, but around the original dimensions of Shakespeare's second Globe Theatre. Edinburgh Military Tattoo. What I love about this room is that a lot of you guys were involved in these structures with us, which is really, really cool. So Edinburgh Military Tattoo, replica of the Edinburgh Castle we built in 2019 at now Accor Stadium. Opening ceremony of the Commonwealth Games, our biggest project to date. We got that project signed off only after being in business 2 years, so we probably didn't have a lot of right to do that project, but we did, and we pulled it off. Ninja Warrior is one that everyone knows about. This is we do a lot of television and set work, and Ninja Warrior is one of our biggest. And then decorated stages. This is what we really wanted to build here in Australia. So that's DEF CON, which doesn't happen anymore, but this is a big part of what we did pre-COVID. Was these huge stages: Ultra Music Festival, DEF CON Festival, Knockout, some really big festivals and dance parties. But then, like all tragedies that everyone goes through, you remember where you were at the time. And Friday the 13th of March, we were in Melbourne, and we were all huddled around a mobile phone watching the Prime Minister's say this.
We will be advising against organised, non-essential gatherings of persons of 500 people or greater from Monday.
And that was it. That was the end of so much. That simple sentence there on that Friday. The doors were closed on the Formula Ones in Melbourne. We were in Melbourne building Ninja Warrior actually, and a set piece for the Formula One. And then the phone calls started rolling in, as I'm sure many of you guys had as well. Cancellation after cancellation. That was Friday. By Friday afternoon, we'd lost millions of dollars of income, and really didn't know the extent of what was coming. We got straight on a plane back to Sydney. And I got home to Tab and the kids and said, I don't know what this is going to mean. We have no work. What can we possibly do? And so it was pretty dark. It was a dark afternoon, as I'm sure it was for all of you guys too. The potential of losing everything is hard to stomach. And when your employers have been with you for 5 years, it was 5 years almost to the week that we started, and we couldn't see any way forward at that stage. Tab and I talked about losing the house. It was a very real possibility, and we rang my mum, who lives in Hervey Bay, and said, look, the kids and we're going to have to move up and live with you guys, we think, because we have no work. And so I'll take you back very quickly to just in the lead up to COVID, November 2019. I've always followed Jocko Willink, an ex-Navy SEAL. He has a book called Extreme Ownership. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend it. We give it to every staff member that works for us. Extreme ownership is about owning everything you do and not making excuses for anything. At every level, whether you're a worker or a manager, own what you're doing and make it work. And so Jocko was in Sydney in November 2019. I had a terrible flu. I said to Tab, I don't think I can do it. It cost us a fortune. So she said, look, you just go and get it done. And so I went, and one of the big things that I took from this, the muster in Sydney, and brought it back to the whole staff, I'll let you watch this. All the team, and it kind of became our motto from that. The moment I saw it and we shared it, it was you'd hear the guys walking around going, "Good, we didn't win that job. Good, we'll get a better one." And it really did become a big part of what we did. And to this day, we still watch it quite frequently. And you hear guys saying, "Reload, recalibrate, re-engage." So that was kind of sets a bit of the mindset that we have as a company. We really don't look at the problems, we look at what the solutions can be. And so back to Friday the 13th, I got back to Sydney. The following Tuesday, I believe, was NTech in Sydney, another entertainment event expo. And you've never been in a darker place. If anyone was at NTech that year, it was so horrible. Everyone was starting to lose everything. And I said to Mick, my head of production and our business partner, we got to get out of here. This is too depressing. So we went across the road and had a beer. And then that's when I said to Mick, look, if we lose everything, we're going to lose the house. There's no way we can make it through this. And we chatted, and Mick said, look, there's going to be a solution. We're not going to lose the house. Let's think. And so from that moment, we got thinking, got planning, got calling people around the world. It's a small industry worldwide, as you guys know, and other countries had gone through things prior to us. So, they needed pop-up testing stations to go into shopping centre car parks and vaccination facilities, all these sorts of things. We designed those up. We went out to the hospitals. We spoke to people at health, and we spoke to our local members and mayors. And this was all within that week after Friday the 13th. And nothing took off immediately, and so we were crunching the numbers and worked out we had no capacity to keep our staff on. And so Friday the 20th, we made the heartbreaking decision. We had to let all of our staff go, and Mick, Tabitha, and I were going to do a couple of hours here and there to just keep things, keep things dust free. And for that Friday, the staff all took their tools and left their keys, and we went and had a couple of beers, and it was tears that night. It was a horrible night. And then working through that weekend, it's still this isn't right. We can't let these guys go. These guys are our family as well, and so we still ringing. And I made a phone call on Sunday morning, which has turned out to be the best call I made to an old colleague in Ireland, and he said, "Look, we're looking at making some furniture. Why don't you guys think about that? You've got the tools." And I got straight on the phone to Mick, and a great coincidence, Mick Jessup, a lot of you guys know, is an amazing designer and a hobby furniture designer, which is a very lucky turn of events for us. But I rang him and said, "Look, mate, I think we need to make a desk. Already whole industries of people having to work from home, and you couldn't buy a desk. IKEA was out of desks, Officeworks had no desks. Fantastic furniture, I think it was an 18-week lead time on desks." So Mick then got to work, and on that same Sunday designed up these flat pack desks, and a standard desk and a stand-up desk, and sent me the photos. He 3D printed it on his little 3D printer at home, and we agreed to meet on the Monday morning, and so we met at the workshop on Monday morning with the plans and cut a prototype. And thought, this is brilliant. I think this is great. And so by Monday afternoon, we door knocked and found a couple of sheets of birch plywood, which is what we wanted to use, and had made the first desk. And then we needed a way to sell it. We got no idea about e-commerce. So Tab jumped onto YouTube and learned how to tack on an e-commerce site onto our very basic website at the time. And that we then met on the Tuesday morning, and with the first desk, took photos in our house and worked out how we could make a few desks. We thought we'd make a few desks, maybe 20 or 30 desks, and be able to keep the two of us busy. So Mick and his partner Jane came to our house, and Jane is a publicist and wrote a bit of a piece for us to get out, and we're looking at making these desks. And it was a very big a very big driver for us was to help the industry. And so we, from the first desk we ever made, we decided we'd donate $10 from every sale to Support Act. Which we did, and I wrote a letter on this day when these photos were being taken to put out on social media, an open letter just telling people how we're an event company, we've lost everything, we're going to try and we're doing this to try and keep our staff busy and our doors open. And one of the big things that I remember, a good friend of mine, I wrote something once about another product, and he said, "No one gives a shit about the details. No one cares what timber you're using. Tell them why you're doing it." And so that letter was all about why we had decided to make these desks. And we put that letter out, and within 2 days it had been shared nearly 3,000 times and seen by 1 million people. And so the IsoKing took off. I thought one morning we can't really keep our logo the same way, so I got our designer to put a scratch through creative stages and structures and write work from home office furniture. And in hindsight, marketing courses now ring me saying, "Oh, how did you come up with that idea?" It's just what we were doing at the time. Within 2 weeks of our first desk, we were selling hundreds of desks every day. We needed to bring all of our staff back in, and we were also then short-staffed. So we had to go out and find as many more staff as we could. And we employed an additional 70 out-of-work event crew to come in and help us to sand and package and deliver the desks and whatever it took. But we really were focused on it, supporting the event industry. And so it was all event crew. All of the media picked up on it, which created more and more of a buzz. The Sydney Morning Herald, that was week 2, did a big piece. This is 1 day's worth of orders, which we would cut the orders off at 10 o'clock at night. Tab and I would print them all out on our home printer and then fold them all up and put them into the little plastic envelopes. And by 2 in the morning, we might be done and ready to go and work out how we were going to deliver it. This is how we delivered it. We got roadies to come in and fill their trucks or whatever they had to fill them up with the desks and hand deliver them. And that was another big part of the story, was people getting their desks delivered by someone from the event industry that was only months before might have been rolling cases for the Rolling Stones. They were then getting their desks delivered by these roadies. And then off the back of that, this great community was created, and all of these people that we started following us on social media, started telling us what they wanted. It was something that blew our minds. They would say, "Oh, can you make us this? Can you make us this?" Everyone was at home and looking for things to do, and then homeschooling started. Can you make desks for kids? Can you make pegboards and puzzle boards? And so we created this community with our clients and our staff, and it was really quite amazing. Christmas trees, and the most crazy one was cat towers, in my opinion. So there was this community, and it opened more and more doors. The Prime Minister, this was actually our only negative bit of feedback, was that we met the Prime Minister. It opened a lot of doors for us, which enabled us to then give back more. We got more event crew in working. In the first year, we donated $90,000 to Support Act to help the other out of work event crew that we couldn't. So the first year in numbers, before we move on a little bit, but we end up doing 50,000 pieces of furniture in the first year of IsoKing. We employed 70 new employees, like I mentioned, all out of work event crew. We created Mick was very busy, 70 SKUs designed in the first year, $120,000 after the second year donated to Support Act, and we also made donations to the Smith Family and Black Dog Institute. One of the community-led things we did was say, does anyone have elderly people that can't get any contact? We want to give puzzle boards to them so at least they can keep busy. And so we gave puzzle boards away, and which led to a bunch of awards for us, which was truly humbling. Business Australia Awards, Smart Company Awards, 2 Paws Awards, and the Australian Design Centre Award for mixed design for our entertainment unit. And then finalist in the CEO of the Year and Entrepreneur of the Year. So that then led to another rebranding. We needed to decide, now work's coming back in the event industry. What do we do with IsoKing? And it had such a following. We rebranded, called it IsoKing at Home, and came up with a whole new product range. which is still going very well to this day. So the big thing, though, the key learnings for us, what we really learnt from this, we came into to COVID. I'd never heard the word pivot. It was something I'd never heard of, and so the big thing, though, and I believe that everyone in the event industry has this in them, is staying agile. You know, I think one of the big things that people talk about is, you know, give an event manager a radio and a roll of gaff and they can do anything. And that's really true. So, you know, in everything we do, we stay as agile as we can. One day we could be building a 30-metre tall lion, and the next day a replica of Shakespeare's Globe Theatre. So there's always different thinking, and I think that is a real event mindset that we all have. Continuous improvement, really, this is such a huge thing, is to continually try to improve. Don't rest once you think you've got it right, because something will change. Don't procrastinate. The amount of people that I've spoken to during COVID and after now that said, oh, I had this idea to do this, or you know, I wanted to do this, but they didn't do it. And so for me, a big part of it is not to procrastinate. We didn't overanalyze the furniture market before going and making a desk. We looked at it as a project. Okay, we need to make desks now. We've got the CNC router. We've got the guys that know how to run it. This is how we're going to do it. And we didn't think twice. We just got moving. And because of that, you can't be afraid to make mistakes. It's really, you know, we did a lot of things. We didn't do it efficiently, as you can see. Tab and I folding bits of paper until all hours of the morning's not efficient. You know, roadies delivering to all parts of the country wasn't that efficient. But you know, to make the mistakes is not a problem. The first stand-up desks we made had a wobble. And what we were very open about making the mistake. We went out to everyone on socials and said, look, we fucked up. We got this out very quickly. It has a wobble, and we sent out 250 pieces to stabilise that. So, and the feedback we got from that was amazing. The fact that we'd actually admitted to the mistake and worked it out got us even more support. Own every aspect of the business. Don't make excuses for anything. Own it. I really recommend Extreme Ownership for anyone that wants to have a read of that, but just really own everything that happens. Train and be transparent with staff. This is one our staff were on board from the get-go, and because there was not much else going on, we had such a great community. It was actually a good place to come every day, and we were transparent with the staff about every aspect of whether we were making money or losing money. We're transparent, and that's just how we operate. We're constantly training staff and trying to improve them. Relying on one pillar of income was something that nearly put us under. You know, we had all of our eggs in the festival basket. Now we've diversified somewhat. Off the back of IsoKing, we're now doing retail fit-outs. We do a lot more dry hire. We do a lot of commercial builds, and that's just a few of the different pillars of income that we've created. Vertically integrate, another word I'd never heard of. But during COVID, two of our major suppliers were looking to get out. They were struggling, and so we bought both of those. So we now own a signage company and a steel fabrication company, and they're all in our warehouse in Caringbah down in Sydney. So we now have every element of what we can deliver is in-house, and we're in control of that. But the most important thing for all of us, I think, is our people. Having the right people, supporting those people is the key to success in any business. And so that is how we got through COVID and how we managed to do that. So thank you. Have we got time for a couple of questions? Yeah. If anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to have a go at answering them. Or not. Guys, thank you so much. I'll be around if you want to chat about anything as well. Thank you very much.